Tonight's guests are the West Central Region All-State Angler leaders from Edwardsville High School. Also, watch until the end because we have a sneak peek to what's coming up from MyCast. People get upset about talking fishing.
Can't see it.
You can't. No, you can't. All right, we're just gonna organically get into this. We're just gonna get started. Welcome back to the Kraken Lair podcast. Welcome to our new guest here from Edwardsville High School. We got Evan and Richard. I just found out they're both juniors, which I'm super excited about. I was telling Evan before he jumped on that the state better watch out next year because they got one more year of the Edwardsville team. I think you guys are a sneaky, deadly team, and I've seen it firsthand, and now I've seen it with the research I've done because I always do the statistics of kids, and you guys been killing it this year.
Doing what we can.
Yeah. Oh, super humble. No worry about it, guys. They're just super humble, which is fine. That's what I love about you high school kids, and especially in the fishing industry when it comes to high school fishing. I have not met like a super cocky, like arrogant angler. You know what I mean? Like it's just been down to earth, super humble, excited for other teams to do well. So when I do these events, I'm super jacked, super pumped to be there. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm sure I put on a show a little bit, but it's so fun. It's so fun. It's a blast. It's like, how can you not have fun doing this? You know what I mean? The sky's the limit. I think it's just going to get better. And I'm going to drop some news onto you guys because even though this is not going live until about a week from now, but you guys are going to get the first insight of some of the new stuff that I've been kind of teasing on social media. But we'll talk about that since you guys get the sneak peek about that.
Let's hear it.
All right. So first I'm going to go over some stats. I'm going to try not to speak as much. I've been watching some of the old podcasts and I feel like I speak way too much. I need you guys to talk more, or I need to let you kids talk more. And that's essentially what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go over the stats really quick. I have some stats on season 1. It looks like, Richard, you fished Newton Lake.
Yeah.
You had a different partner that was the Slumber Boy, right?
Yeah.
Right. And you guys took 14th place. And was that the only event that you guys fished that year?
Only ICAST. We did some IHSA that year, but it was nothing too serious. And then
that's what I thought, because I feel like I feel like I remember seeing you guys once, and then that's it. And then season 2, you were still partners with Luke for the first few events. I have down event 7, Lake of Egypt. Both of you took 25th, and that means both of you, I mean Richard and Luke, took 25th. Right. And then I think there was another event that you fished as well and didn't place high. And then all of a sudden something had to do with And then you guys had another tournament which was the infamous Rend tournament. You guys did awesome though. But I think there was you were initially with Luke, and then we had to do a last second replacement, right? And Evan had to jump in, or was it vice versa or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, or I think Evan was signed up and then you weren't, and then somehow you guys mashed up together perfectly. And this was the event, and we've talked about this in a lot of the episodes. This was the event where, I mean, 60-something boats, I think it was, if I remember correctly. I mean,
I think so.
95% of the field blanked. I think 3 teams caught fish. Rochester, maybe one other team. I think it was Carterville. And then you guys took first. And then Evan, you had a pretty big bass for that event for being like a super crazy, I mean, very difficult event. I remember your guys' face when you guys came in. You were jacked up. I was jacked up for you because I'm like, finally, yes, we got 3 teams to weigh in fish. We can give out these plaques properly. But yeah, I was super happy for you because I'm a big Edwardsville fan. I went to school in SIUE. I love Edwardsville. I was just talking to Evan that I student taught at Lincoln Middle School. I did a couple hours. Yeah, I did a couple hours at Liberty Middle School. I helped out with the wrestling team a couple times here and there. And yeah, I loved Edwardsville. Everything about Edwardsville, I have 0 bad things to say about Edwardsville. I probably would have moved there, lived there, try to get a job there if it wasn't just so much my family living in the Chicagoland area. So like I loved Edwardsville. Dude, I speak about Edwardsville all the time to my friends. They're like, how do you know this place? So I'm like, I went to school there. It's the best place ever. SIU is like I tell people it's like the hidden gem of universities. So I'll always praise it. All right, let's get back to the stats. So you guys take first place at Ren, which punches your ticket to get to the Clash. It makes it so much easier for you guys to fish. Last year, the way we did Clash was a lot different than we do this year. So you guys got your invitation to go to that one. And then even at the Clash, you guys, I feel like your chemistry together just went well so fast. And you guys took 20th at the Clash. And to me, people are like, 20th. I don't know, man. The kids that fish our series, and I'm like getting chills just thinking about it, are so like the anglers are so good. To me, a top 20 when you have the best of the best fish in one event, 2 days an event, because 2 days makes a big difference between one day, right? You can have one good day, right? But it's hard to have 2 good back-to-back days, especially when your boat number flips, right? Like let's say boat 2 to boat 68, a big difference. So the consistency you guys showed, I think those 2 like events like propelled you to what I'm about to say in season 3 in the statistics. I mean, you guys just went ham. And Evan, I think you've been putting a lot of work crafting your skills. Richard, I watch your YouTube channel. We'll give you a shameless plug a little bit later so we get your subscribers up. I love watching your video. It's so fun.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I'm like, I know that kid. It's like you're a celebrity to me. It's so cool. So let's go over to the season 3 stats. Event 1, Jacksonville, 9th place. People are like, Jacksonville, 9th place. It was a 40-boat field. It was hot. First event of the season. We got a lot of big sticks fish in that event, and you guys took 9th. It was a tough day, but you still got a top 10 finish. To me, top 10 is super impressive, especially when you want to have the consistency playing out. And then event 2, Springfield, you guys did our back-to-back. You guys took 3rd place. I mean, legit 3rd place. That's awesome. And then the very next weekend, we went down to Shelbyville. You took 4th. And I think, Evan, you had some confidence going into this event, I bet, because you had I feel like you fished with James from Bass Class Bass Lab, and I'm sure he showed you some, tips and tricks about that lake. And like it just gives you that confidence, like, you know what, I can catch him. And which is awesome, which helps you out, Richard, right? He's as your partner.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then moving on to event 6, because you didn't fish event 4 and 5, because I think we traveled a little bit up north. Or maybe one of those was St. Chris, and you guys kind of got in the middle of the pack on that one.
Yeah, we were middle of the pack.
Yeah, we don't talk about San Chris for y'all. All right. So event 6, Kincaid, 20th place, another big field in the South. And then we moved on to the next day, which was another back-to-back. I love those back-to-backs. What do you guys think? Back-to-backs, A+?
They're cool.
I like them.
Nice. I like them, right? Yeah. Yes.
And they're always close to each other as well.
Yes. So it kind of helps teams that travel far not have to worry about traveling far 2 weekends in a row. It's just boom, done, bam. And it almost makes you feel kind of, I love baseball, especially, this is opening day. So when this video drops next week, today's opening day, big Cubs fan, Cubs win. Don't like the Cardinals loss. I love it. I know you guys are probably Cardinals fans, right?
I don't even pay attention to it, honestly. No, I don't.
That's all right. So I'm not offending anybody. Evan?
No.
What about you?
I fish. I don't pay attention to baseball too much.
We're not offending anybody. Yeah. So anybody that's watching, go Cubs, go. All right. Anyways, well, moving back. I forgot my train of thought. Anyway, so yeah, I love the back-to-back because if you did well that Saturday, that like the edge of like wanting to go back the very next day, you're just like ready to go, super pumped, and you're like, dude, we're so confident we're gonna slay them, right? Or even on the flip side, let's say you did terrible on Saturday and you're like, you know what, brush it off, we got tomorrow, brand new day. That's how I think of the back-to-backs, which is, I think, is definitely a cool feature. So, and then going back to our back-to-back, Lake of Egypt, 7th place. This was one of the last events in the fall that you guys fished with us. You took 7th place. Another good finish. Big fields. We always have big fields in the South, which I love because, I mean, it's just super competitive. I love the big fields because I forgot who was saying it on here. Maybe it was Tyler Conrad from Flora was saying, when you finish in the top 10 with 80, 90 boats, like you feel good knowing like, dude, we did this, right? So yeah, it's definitely a big difference. All right, moving into the cold spring that we just fished a couple weeks ago. Event 10, Kincaid. You guys did awesome. 3rd place. And I watched your video. That was fun. It was cool watching you guys catch those fish. First of all, I got to give you guys props. I love both of your guys' hook sets. Like, you literally, both of your hook sets, when you guys, I almost like jump out of my seat when I'm watching on my phone, because I feel like you're just gonna like fling the bass over your head. You get hook sets are free. That's what we used to say all the time at our team. Like, hook sets are free. Like if you look foolish, you look foolish, but at least you're not gonna miss it. So A+ on your guys' hook set. Love it. 3rd place finish, riding high on a super cold day. I mean, it was brutal that day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was cold.
Brutal. I feel bad for you guys. It was just, but you know what? I just didn't want to cancel because it's a lot of teams had so much committed into that weekend. And you know what? Not a single team approached me about canceling. They were just like, wondering about what we're thinking, this. So I'm super grateful that a lot of kids and coaches were, more on the side of, let's just get the events over with. So I was super happy about that. And then event 11, Lake of Egypt, the very next day, you took 22nd. Not bad for, was it 97, 98 boats? I mean, that's super awesome. And that was another cold day. It was snowing for what, an hour and a half in the beginning?
Yeah, it's not like an hour and a half.
Dude, that's so cool. I can't wait till one day where we have this freak spring and it's just like, not super cold, but just snowflakes, like heavy snowflakes. That would be some scene to watch for sure. And then I had one IHSA sectionals last year, but you all didn't fish this one, but your team, Edwardsville, props to your high school. You guys took first in your sectional, which I like it.
They did.
Got to give props to your high school, especially represent. So even though this is kind of like an individual sport when an individual boat, but you still got to represent your high school. So, but yeah, that's the stats I have on you guys for ICAST and a little bit of the one IHSA sectionals. But yeah, that's what I got. Are we ready to get into these questions?
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it. I want to stop hearing my voice. I want to hear the questions, and we're going to go off right off the bat, and I'm gonna go alphabetical order. We'll go Evan to answer first, and then Richard, you'll comment next. I'm gonna start off with my favorite question. It is the favorite technique, the favorite bait, the favorite lure, favorite time to fish. Evan, blast us off.
I love the flip, and I think a rage crawl always gets it done. It's just such a small profile bait that you could just swim it, you can drag it, you could hop it, you could do whatever you want. Pitch it in wood, pitch it in grass. I mean, I just love it. The rage crawl is just the way to go with an all-around lure.
What colors do you use? You tend to lean on more, or is it more you got to look at the body of the water, the time?
It's more of the time of the year and the body of water. So
yeah. So if you had to pick two colors, I think I already know your answer, but if you're gonna pick two colors that you can only fish for the rest of your life with the rage crawl.
Ooh. Green pumpkin with gold flake.
Okay.
And black and blue.
Yeah. It's always a combination of the green pumpkin and that black and blue. Like, it's funny. I mean, I love buying crazy colors too, just because I'm a sucker for buying something that looks pretty. That's just what I do. But it's the same thing. This all you kids, everybody I've been asking and talking to, it's a natural green pumpkin, brownish, and black and blue. It's just amazing how literally the best kids in the state of Illinois, and you guys too are one of the best kids in the state of Illinois. FYI, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Use the same colors all the time. So it literally works. If you're watching this and you think, why aren't you finishing the top 10, top 20, and you're not using those colors, maybe switch those colors and you'll start winning. All right, big Richard. Yeah. Yeah. Richard, what about you, bud?
Buzzbait all the way. Buzzbait.
You do love that buzzbait. Well, I got a question about your DIY lures, but I'll save for that one. So you love buzzbaits, huh?
I do. Best bait ever.
And you know what I love about you? I never would have done this if it wasn't for watching your videos. You put a tube on your buzzbait a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the juice. I'm just giving out your secrets. But you know what? You give out your own secrets. It's on your own video.
It's weighted. It sits lower, and you give a better hookup, and it's just money.
Yeah. If you guys gotta watch Richard's YouTube video. While we're talking about YouTube video, Richard, tell us what you're
Unleashed Fishing.
Say it again.
Unleashed Fishing.
Unleashed Fishing. So if you guys aren't following it, follow it now. He's got some really good content. I really like how he breaks stuff down, especially for a young high school kid. I mean, you're super confident in front of a camera, which I really enjoy. Yeah. I tell people all the time, I'm still not really used to this whole thing.
I'm not.
Yeah, you just kind of you gotta go with the flow, right? So I do like it. I like it. Buzzbait, rage craw. This is the first buzzbait that I've gotten from kids. Yeah. First buzzbait. We had topwater, right? We'd have frog fishing, spooks, whopper plopper. You can't go wrong with the whopper plopper. It's so fun to watch that. It's kind of like a buzzbait, the whopper plopper. It's like a modernized buzzbait. All right, so this one we're not going to go alphabetical order because it's going to just segue into what the buzzbait and DIY lures. So speaking of baits, we talked about this. I do watch your channel. You love making your own lures, Richard. What is it about making your own lures that just you want to fish it?
I feel like it's cheaper. It's better than most things I can buy, and I can make exactly what I want. Because I just started making chatterbaits. I made some spinner baits a few nights ago. But I mean, I can make exactly what I want. I can build the skirt I want, and it just comes out awesome. I mean, I'm using like glow-in-the-dark skirts. I'm using all this crazy stuff that like you can't buy. I mean, I just make it, and I only have to make myself happy with it. I'm not trying to sell it to another person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool because, and when you catch a fish, it's so gratifying, isn't it?
Best feeling.
Yeah, you're just like, I built that, and I freaking caught that fish on my lure, right? So, Evan, you fish Richard's lures, or are you just like, not for me, bro?
I want to throw those buzz baits, but he gave them to me right at the end of the year, so I didn't really get to fish them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you had a set, and I didn't realize you didn't have any, so I had to hook you up, but it was a little late. I ain't gonna lie.
It was like February, I think you gave them to me.
Yeah. See, I thought you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I'll fish them.
There you go. See, yeah, little see, the chemistry's already there. They've already talked it out. They're like, we got this. They're gonna hook each other up. See, this is what makes a good partnership for fishing work so well. It's just indescribable. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love everything about ICAST. I love everything about all this stuff. This is just so much fun stuff. Just gonna make it better. All right. This is gonna be hard or easy for some of you, because there's a billion people in this room, for both of you. Evan, we'll start with you. What is the weakest part of your game, and why do you think it's the weakest part?
Honestly, just finding a pattern and sticking with it. The hardest part is just being able to find that first bite. Otherwise, you can establish it or you can build on from it.
Yeah. So do you find it difficult because do you find it that you're kind of like a stubborn person trying to figure something out, or is it something that you are just mentally trying to figure out so hard because you want to succeed?
It's more mentally because I want to succeed. It's like, am I going to catch one right here? Where am I going to catch one? Where's my fish at? Like, what am I going to catch him on? I got a lot of things running through my mind when I'm fishing.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It's you guys, you kids, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to be the people that watch this probably gonna be like, dude, he says this all the time, and it's because it's true. You guys are the smartest, like, generation of youth anglers. Brian Latimer said it the best a couple days ago, and I reposted it. It's like, this generation of anglers are way better than what they were at your guys' age, and it's so true, because the amount of homework you guys do, the amount of thought process you guys go into, and preparation. I mean, the sky's the limit. You guys are so intelligent when it comes to this stuff. So like how you said, there's so much stuff going through your head, and it's not because you're like OCD and thinking about other non-fishing stuff. I guarantee you it's literally fishing. I mean, structure, what this, I mean, it's so hard to explain. So
right.
Yeah, this is why I like these podcasts, because I get to get a little insight on what you guys think, and it's been the same common theme, which I still enjoy it. It's super fun. All right, Richard, I know I just got my first Zoom warning. You guys probably already saw it. I'm telling you, man, we go through Zooms like crazy around here, but it's all good. Weakest part of your game and why?
I'd say finesse mainly, especially deep finesse. Like, I don't know, it's just hard for me to slow down to something small when I can pick up, like, I love an 8-inch trick worm, a Magnum trick worm. When I can pick up that and I've got so much confidence in it, it's hard for me to switch like a little just shaky head and throw it when I got an 8-inch that I've caught so many 4 or 5 pounders on. It's just, yeah. And it gets snagged so much. It's just not, and I'm not even good with a spinning reel. I ain't going to lie. I'm just not good with
it. Evan's laughing over there. He probably sees it so much firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? It's those techniques. I love asking this question because the kids, you guys are super honest with your answers. Some of those techniques that you guys do mention on your weaknesses, they're tough. They really are if you're not good at it. But I will say, and I you probably know this, you got to get good at that finesse stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to. Even though right now you guys are so successful, it's not like you need to practice it now. I would say you guys keep doing what you're doing because it's freaking working. Don't need to change. So if Evan has a strong point here and you have a strong point here, just stick with it. You guys are doing well. Don't mess with the recipe right now. You guys are doing great. So, but yeah, eventually once you got that downtime, I mean, you fish like crazy. Go fish those finesse techniques that you just so much love, right? Resume on Zoom 2. All right. Next question kind of leads into the weakness, adversity, because they kind of go hand in hand, right?
Right.
Or they can go hand in hand with your strong point. You could have a just rough day. So adversity, what and how do you get better now that you have more knowledge and experience? You guys are juniors. You fish some tough tournaments. You fish some really good tournaments this year, but you still learn, even though you're doing well, because you could always get better. So you can kind of answer this question in two parts. What are you learning from, even though you're not making many mistakes, but also what are you learning from when you do make a lot of mistakes and don't finish well? Evan, you could start us off.
Honestly, this is a hard one for me to answer. This is a really hard one for me to answer.
So when you struggle, this shouldn't be that hard. You're a wrestler, dude. You know, when you don't do well, you know in your head exactly where you messed up. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
And you know where to fix it. Fishing's no different.
Right.
It's actually a little different, but the mindset it should be the same. The mindset should be the same.
Honestly, when I'm pitching the same in like cold weather and warm weather, obviously something's wrong when they're not hitting in cold weather, because whenever I'm flipping, they're just not eating the way they should be. That's the way it was at like Egypt and Kincaid for me. It just, they weren't eating that flipping bite, but they were eating that good jig bite. You know what I mean? It's just, you got to set out from a distance and change your mind.
Because from what I watched in the video, you are always flipping, and I love it because you're always on the side, you're just flipping away. And here comes Richard. Good one, net. I love when you guys freak out with the net too. It's always fun to watch. I wish everybody had a GoPro or some type of action camera on their boats, because like people need to see the intensity, the anxiety, the excitement, the rush, and even the down parts of like the despair if you do miss a fish, right? I mean, the amounts of emotions that you guys go through in a single event that, by the way, lasts 7 hours. No other sport. I talked about this a few podcasts ago. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, and I apologize. No other sport competes for 7 straight hours like how you guys do. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's nuts. But you guys are nuts. We're all nuts. We're nuts for loving this, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, it's. I mean, you kind of have to learn a little bit, right? When you especially like you were saying, flipping in hot weather, cold weather, hot water, cold water, and you kind of have to learn, because sometimes. And I love how you said it, Richard, once on they're just dead stick and a jig, right? It's how you said. I mean, weird. Sometimes you just
let it fall down a bluff.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to slow down even more.
Absolutely.
Then you're just like, dude, I can't slow down even more. Actually, you can. It's called dead sticking, and like putting your hands underneath your armpits so your fingers can get warm and get some feeling back.
The one fish, I was taking off my stocking hat and it picked up my bait. And I was just in the middle of taking off my hat and I reel into it and there's a fish on it. It was wild.
That is wild. That is awesome. It is crazy, these fish, what the heck they do. All right, Richard, adversity question for you. So what is it that you do? How do you get better now that you have some more experience tournament fishing? Whether you're doing well, not doing well, what do you do? How do you deal with that?
So I call it my flog. Basically, it's a giant notebook that I write down every single fish catch in, every single day, every single detail that I can think of. I write that in there. I mean, I think about it a lot in my head. I'm trying to sleep. That's what I'm thinking about. And I talk about it a lot with the local guys at our local lake in our club. I'm like, we go through it and see what happened, what they would have done, what we could have done different, where I struggled. And that's mainly it. There's also a giant thunderstorm going on right now. So if you hear loud noises, it's nice thunder. But
I literally just heard something and I thought something fell.
No, it's thunder. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we lose you, we got to make sure we go on our iPhone so that we can have some Wi-Fi or something. Yeah, it's just cold up here. No thunderstorms. But yeah, that's really good. I like how you do that. What do you call it? Flogging?
I call it my flog, my fish log.
I
Call it my
like
flog.
it. My flog. I
Yeah,
like it. Dude,
it's chocked full of stuff.
Trademark
Do
that.
what?
You gotta trademark that.
Yeah.
Trademark that. The flog. Evan, you gotta start a flog.
I don't know.
You do realize when you write stuff down, guys, and I can't believe I'm doing this on my spring break teacher mode. You retain more knowledge writing stuff down.
100%.
I hate that I have to say that. I just never can get a teacher mode.
It's true though.
But it's true. It is. When you write stuff down, guys, for some reason, like your brain sees it, you're thinking about it, your brain sees it, you write down, you can see it back. Like it's way different from typing it on a computer. I find when I write stuff down, because I have some, stuff that I write down, like the stats. I remember your guys' stats so much more in depth when I write it down, opposed to like put it on my screen. Because like we see things on screens all the time. So yeah, write stuff down, kids. Write stuff down. You'll make it smarter. I do like that you incorporate locals too to see like what their thought process would be.
For sure, definitely.
Always learning. I love it. Always learning. All right, what's the ultimate? Yes, exactly. That's the goal.
Yeah, every trip on the drive home, I'm thinking, what did I learn? What could I have done different?
Love it. You got to say it out loud so that Evan hears it too.
I hear it. we talk to each other on the way home sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's fun. I mean, I bet your parents were like, weren't you guys on the boat for 7 hours already? We were still talking. All right, Evan, what's the ultimate goal for you? I know you're still a junior. You got one whole year to look ahead. 10 years from now, what's the goal for Evan?
10 years from now?
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to be fishing on a competitive level or just be working in the industry. Honestly, I want to be incorporated in fishing once I'm done with college and high school. I just want to be incorporated there.
Nice.
In that general area.
Yeah, I like it. I like that goal because you want to be in the fishing world, and it's whatever, however it falls, right? All right, shorter term goal. After high school, what's your goal?
Collegiate fishing.
I love it. Do you have anything in mind?
I got a couple colleges in mind right now. I got to make a couple more visits and finalize what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Are you leaning more towards I need a coach or I'm cool with the student driven program? Or does it matter?
I need a coach. I can't do a student driven program. Yeah. I think with a coach, everything seems more organized.
Yeah. It really depends on the person, right?
Right.
I lean with you too, I think, even though I'm so kind of like my own person and I like doing things on my own. I do like that coach to lean on. I think that it just helps my mindset.
Yeah,
for sure. That it does.
But a student can only hold so much information or knowledge at the same time. But a coach is more focused on the students, the anglers, whatever.
Outside perspective.
Yes.
I love it. All right, Richard. I know you're still a junior. You still got one whole year. 10 years from now, what's your goal 10 years from now?
Be fishing or making enough money that I can just fish when I want.
Yeah.
I just want to tournament fish. It's just what I love.
You love it. Yeah, you can tell you love it too, because every time I see you before the launch, you guys are always super excited. Afterwards, you're super excited. I love when you're just like, hey, you got to share me that footage. And I'm like, heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, I'll share that. Speaking of that, I just remembered I got to buy another camera because I need to. I need to have one on my chest. I need to have one overhead. I need angles. Like I wish I was 3 people because I would be flying my drone at the same time.
For sure.
I mean, it's just, I don't know what it is. Just having that footage is cool to have.
Yeah, it is.
All right. After high school, what's your goal?
College fish for sure. Tournament, college, and just see what I can do in the college series.
Yeah. Now, do you have a college in mind?
I'm going to tour Murray on our spring break. I'm going to Wabash Valley to tour. I'm looking at Louisiana State or Louisiana Tech, just something different. But
now,
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So you've named two different programs. You had a student led and coach led. So it looks like you're kind of open.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open as long as it seems like a well-run program and the school like actually recognizes that this is a sport and I'm going to be missing class for it, then I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think that helps too.
Yeah.
That definitely helps. Yeah, I like that you guys both have your own, your own goals, your own destinations, and even though they're somewhat different, they're still the same. I mean, you guys both want to be in the fishing industry, both want to be fishing somehow, some way. You both want to fish college level, which to me, that's another thing that gets me super pumped, kids. I mean, the amount of kids from Illinois going to fish in the next level in college fishing, it just gets me fired up. It gets me to the point, and you guys are not even related to me. I have no relationship with you besides this connection of fishing in our series. But I'm so stoked that you kids are like following some type of dream to go fish college level and like represent the state somehow, some way. And I love that you guys are doing this, and it just gets me fired up. I mean, it's so awesome. Love it. It's super jealous at the same time, but not hating jealous. There's no ain't no time for haters up in here. All right. Next question. I like this question. Evan, are you ready for this question?
Let's hear it.
All right. So you guys are currently at the top of your region for all state points. So you guys are the best of the best in the West Central right now. And you guys are not just you, but other kids in the West Central are really putting the West Central region kind of on the map, right? You're like showing the rest of the state, like, yo, kids, we're pretty good down here too. And I say down here, but you're really like down left there. And it's just great because the more competition, it just breeds better anglers. How do you compare you guys as a whole, not just you two, but you guys as a whole,
right, to
like the studs of the Northeast that just have been doing it for the last 3 years? You know what I'm talking about. And I'm not showing bias to the Northeast. I've showed my love to the Southern Illinois and Edwardsville, but like some of those studs that what I'm talking about. We don't need to drop names, but there's some studs that are in the Northeast region that just like freaking hammers. But you guys are starting to put yourself up on the mat and be like, yo, we're not too far behind, So how would you compare you guys with them?
Honestly, I think that northern region just has a bigger population, so you have more to pick from too, which separates us. Obviously, we're not as big as Chicago or, just
the suburbs,
general Chicago. Yeah. But I think that really separates us because we're in like a medium-sized town, and it just they have more to choose from.
For sure, I agree. And all-state points, if you guys don't know, look up on the all-state rankings. We got some studs in the very Northeast region. On the northern part, we did have to break it down into 3 separate regions in the Northeast, just like how Evan alluded to. It's such a big population of kids that to make it somewhat fair, we had to separate it by counties because there's too many people in the Chicagoland area, and I'm from the Chicagoland area, but there's just hundreds of thousands of people, but it is what it is. Richard, what do you think? Same question. So you guys are now putting yourself in the West Central on the map. How would you compare the West Central kids to some of those Northeast region boys?
A lot of it's home lake advantage. We have a lot of lakes within 2 hours of us. I think that's a big player. Although until I started fishing tournaments for high school, I never really left our home lake.
Yeah.
But I think just having so many lakes within 2 hours is awesome. And we can get to Kincaid in 2 hours. We can get to Clinton in 2 hours. So we can go all over the place, at least from where I'm at. And I know a lot of the West Central too.
Yeah. You guys do have I think the West Central is, especially you guys in the Metro East St. Louis area, you really are close to a lot of those lakes, right? Jacksonville's not that far away from you.
Yeah.
Springfield's not that far away.
No.
Newton's not that far away. Coffeen, that's your sectional lake,
Oh,
right?
Oh yeah.
St. Chris.
45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you name it, Kincaid, Egypt. I mean, you guys are spoiled with that area, and it's just that's your region. So hey, home lake advantage, right? And I think it's definitely showing, and I love that it's showing more because you're kind of flexing your muscles and say like, yo, we're here too, and we're pretty good, and it's showing, and I love it. I love competition. I think it's just the old school wrestler in me. I just love the head to head, like let's go, me or you, but in a friendly way. That's what I like. This is the one thing I do like about fishing. People are friendly, super competitive, but friendly, and it's like a respectful, friendly, competitive edge compared to wrestling, where it's just like literally two bulls hate each other until they want to kill each other. Totally different, but same mindset, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean. All right. Yeah, Evan knows what I'm talking about. He's a wrestler, so he gets it. Yeah. All right, next question. All right, in my opinion, I believe the moment that turned Edwardsville, and specifically you two, around was, and that turning point was that win at Ren Lake. And all of a sudden, like, it propelled you guys to be this hidden gem superstar team. And I'm going to say superstar team because I think you kind of are. You might not agree with me, but I think you are. And this is from an outside looking in. And you know me, I see all you guys. I see everybody. I see all the kids. I see all the events. I see all the tournaments. I'm at everything. And that moment, that event propelled you. And what was it about that literally made you guys go, that's it, we're tournament anglers and we're just going to go beast mode from here on out? Evan, what do you think? What made that?
Honestly, it was that connection. Like once we won, we knew it's like it was kind of meant to be, like just us fishing together. And when I hooked that fish, it was like, holy crap, Richard, get that net.
That was the one day I think I forgot all of my batteries from my GoPro.
Yep.
It was so sad. So sad. Anyway.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, what else about that, Evan, besides obviously that quick connection? What was it that like made you just say, that's it, it's super serious time from here on out?
It's winning that tournament. That mentality and mindset just changed instantly. It just, I mean, we caught the most fish in the tournament.
What was it? The 3? Did you guys catch 3?
We had 2.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, it was 1, 1, and 2, but you still had big bat. Yeah.
We were very fortunate for those 2 fish.
Oh, like, but you know what? Everybody had the same playing field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like you had an advantage, disadvantage. This is what I love about fishing. Everybody fishing the same day. Everybody fished the same weather. Everybody's on the same body of water. Boom, go catch it.
Right.
Yeah. Here, I'm looking up the weigh-in right now on Rend. 2 fish, 415. I mean, 7-3 on this crazy hard day at Ren Lake. 7-3. That's super awesome. Yeah, four teams caught fish that day. Carterville, Heron, Century caught fish too. And I feel like Rochester caught fish that day, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Rochester. So, like, you guys, just like you said, you were fortunate to catch 2 good-sized fish. I mean, this one was 415. Your total weight was 7.3, which means the other fish was, what, 2.5 pounds? I mean, it's not like, I mean, and if you look at the state, I'm going to look at the state. So sorry if I'm just going to start scrolling. This is what I love about having my computer in front of me. I'm looking at the state series stuff right now, and I want to look out at the actual Ren Lake results during sectionals, because we fished Ren Lake. What date was that?
April 3rd.
Oh, this guy. Yes, you're right. April 3rd. So, dude, I'm telling you, this is where it clicked. You know it. This is where it clicked. You guys just were meant to be, like you said. April 3rd, which means sectionals it's not till the first Thursday in May. So sectionals of last week, scrolling down to Wren Lake. Big bag was 8 pounds, 9 ounces. So you weren't even that far off. And only 6 teams caught fish in that tournament. So it's not like you had that much. They had a better advantage because it technically was warmer. And I keep hearing Wren is amazing when it's hot and warm, but
it can be. If you go at the right time, it can be good.
Yeah. Everybody keeps saying that, so I'm just gonna believe you. I'm gonna believe the kids that are saying that because obviously we just have to believe you. Whatever. All right. So Richard, what was it about this event that just kind of like, and it obviously could be the same answer, but what was it about this that just flipped that switch? I mean, you fished 2 events before with us and you did okay, right? But this one, there was like a difference because I feel like I remember asking you guys, is this the partner? Is this the duoship? And both you guys like, oh yeah, right? So what was it about Wren Lake and this event particularly that just made you guys flip that switch and say, game on, here we come?
I don't even know if it was Wren because that might have been our first high school tournament we ever fished together.
I think it was.
But we a few other tournaments at our local lake together, and we got 1-1. We got third, like the first time we ever bass fished together. We hopped in a tournament and got third. So I think that mentality and our confidence together definitely came together at Wren. And then at Wren, it was just, this is it. This is like, we found our partners and we're just going to go.
Yeah. So explain the other 2 events. Were they before Wren or after Wren?
They would have been, one was like middle of summer.
Okay.
I think. And I think we got third, something like that. Maybe 4th. I think we were just out of money. And then the next one we fished, it was early or late March at our local lake, and we caught like 15.5 pounds and took first.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What tournament was that?
At our local lake. It's just 15 boat tournament.
Okay. But still, first place. I mean.
Yeah, and then we were just able to build confidence and just go from there.
It's like, Evan, you almost forgot about those 2 events.
I thought we were just talking about high school. I didn't know if we were talking about beating up the old guys.
They're all old, right?
Hey, beating up old guys is okay when it comes to fishing. You know, because those old guys will tell you, "Oh, we're better than you." Yeah. You know, I'm just gonna go. Yeah.
Longer than live.
Yeah, they've been fishing way longer, but I will bet money every event that a high school kid will beat a local kid or a local adult 8 times out of 10. Like I believe it. I believe it so hardcore that you kids just think differently, adapt better. And I don't know what it is. It's some type of intangible that you guys can just do and perform better than some of those local adults. Now, when it comes to pros, I'll always bet. I'll always bet money on the pros, right? Because pros yeah. But yeah, Evan, it's okay to beat up on those old dudes. It is fishing only. Physical beat it up, maybe that's a different story. We don't want to do that. That would not be good.
Depends on if they deserve
it. Oh man. Oh God. Okay, man. Are we on the last question already? What the heck? This ain't cool. We'll keep talking somehow. All right. So you guys, this is kind of a unique thing. And I know this because I always talk to one dad, one event, the next dad on the next event. You guys kind of share boaters and you flip flop. And I think it's because your dads just want to take, they don't want to take advantage of the other dad and vice versa. That's what it seems like. You guys have the luxury, I guess it's the word luxury, because it hasn't hindered you guys, where you have one boater, one event, the boater, the next event, and it's always your dad's, right? And you're always like flip-flopping, and it doesn't hurt you guys. What is it about that doesn't like it doesn't affect you? Because sometimes we talked about this in 2 podcasts. Boaters can make or break some tournaments and can be a huge help. And for you guys, it doesn't really affect you. So Evan, what is it about A, your dad, and then B, Richard's dad as boaters that you find similarities, non-similarities, whatever comfort level? What do you think?
I think our dads just, I mean, they're totally awesome. They sit in the boat for 7 hours. You know, sometimes they'll sit in the cold rain, freezing wind. But I think they just really let us communicate with each other and think about what we're going to do next. And I mean, yeah, our dads will throw out some ideas and we'll think upon it. Then we'll move on to the next thing. You know, it's just me and Richard just try to do our thing together.
Yeah, I love it. I do. It's cool that they're kind of like on the same page. Richard, I love listening to your dad laugh on those videos. It is my favorite. My favorite. And like I already know, first of all, I know it's gonna be your dad because I can tell by the gunnel, the blue gunnel on the boat. So I know it's your boat. But when your dad laughs, it makes me laugh so hard. It does. Like he's just got that laugh that just makes people laugh.
Yeah.
So for you, Richard, what is it about your dad, Evan's dad, when it comes to boating that you guys, you're just like, whatever, a boater's a boater, we're gonna do our thing?
Feel like a lot of it is our dads they both just sit back and they just let us do us. And we pick our spots. They basically just drive the boat where we want to go. And I think that not relying on them has helped us switching between boats and just doing our thing.
Yeah. So here's a perfect example of kids doing their homework. This is going to set you guys up perfectly if you do go fish college, and I honestly think you guys are going to fish college because there's no coach or boater, right? It's you and your partner, and you're already mentally preparing yourself to figure out your own spots, your own this. Now you just got to drive your boat to those spots, which I feel like you guys probably already do that already, having your parents' boats, right? And I feel like Richard, you're always fishing by yourself on that body of water when you're doing your video, so like it's not like it's a foreign thing. So yeah, that's really cool. And every team's different. I love that you guys have the total confidence that you feel like, you know what, the boater just lets us do our thing. Yeah, they throw in some ideas here and there because, like Evan said earlier, it does have that outside perspective to kind of make you reset just a little bit or rethink something, right? So yeah, it's great. Which boat do you prefer? Let's make some people a little jealous here. Which boat do you prefer?
Evan, you want to go first?
I'll let you go first.
I'd rather be at the front. I mean, I just would. I feel like recently I've gotten a lot better at standing in the back of the boat, just doing my thing. But I don't know. I'd rather be in the front. I feel like I just got more room to move anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So is that what you guys do? Sorry to cut you off. Is that what you do? So when Richard, you're on your boat, you're in the front.
Yeah.
When it's on your, I like it. You know what?
Yeah.
I never would have thought of that. That's actually kind of cool to do it that way. I'm assuming you guys are smart enough to know that a certain technique deserves to be on the back no matter what, when you're fishing certain techniques, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good to know, right? Because you don't want a power fisherman in the back while someone's going super slow in front, because that would just not be a good recipe.
So that works really well. Evan loves to flip. We already touched on that.
Yeah, true.
Like I love to flip, but I love to throw a crankbait or a trap or a buzz bait. So Evan he covers that flip, and I'll do something completely different. And I think that our two fishing styles go really well in a tournament like that.
For sure. So kids watching out there, not that we have many watchers. I got like 55 subscribers. I'm catching up to you, Richard, but I got 55.
I'm like 300. Ain't nothing.
Yeah. Hey man, it's more than me.
YouTube shorts. That's how I got a lot of them. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. So I will say kids that are gonna think about partnering up with each other. Chemistry is a big difference. If you have bad chemistry right off the bat, you're just not going to be a good partnership. It's just not going to work. Two alphas going at each other head to head. It's bad mojo on the boat. And like how you guys said, your styles just mesh really well together, right? Richard, you're more of a power fisherman, which means you're constant moving in front of the boat. That's why you like it. Evan, you like flipping, which it slows things down. So it makes things so well put together when you're covering water, cutting run water, and then all of a sudden you might be covering spots that the fish just didn't want. It was too fast for him. And then bam. So I love it. I do like that the two styles for you are different. And a lot of other kids said the same thing. So yeah, that's really cool. I had something else I was about to ask, and this Zoom warning just threw me off. It's ridiculous. I was going to ask you, Evan, something. Can't think of it. No, this is just going to be awkward silence on this video part of that one. But whatever. It's been fun. I mean, you know what? I will say this. The next few events. What's the furthest north are you guys traveling?
We're going to
You guys are going to Heideke?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna give you some advice. I'm not really good at that lake, but I will say do your homework. It'll make a difference. It really will. It's literally like a big rock bowl. Right? There's going to be some home teams that are just going to, kind of like you said, Richard, earlier, home lake advantage. They're going to have it dialed down. So, but it doesn't mean you can't beat them. Doesn't mean you can't do well. Doesn't mean you can't do, what it is you guys are doing. So, Allstate, that's what I wanted to say. And I got to drop the news, right? I got 8 minutes and 10 seconds. So here's the news. You ready for this? It's not like it's a huge drum roll because people are going to know once they watch this, because I'm going to hopefully go live tomorrow and explain it. So I got two ideas. So we're going to do an all-state tournament for all-state anglers, but at the same time, we're going to try doing Illinois versus Indiana in the middle of June for some big award. And I'm partnering with James Williams from Bass Class, Bass Lab to kind of give this really cool opportunity. So what's going to happen is on a weekend in June, and we're hoping that all the all-state kids fish, because it's only 20. It's going to be an invited 25 Illinois teams and 25 Indiana teams. Hopefully we can get 25 Indiana teams. If we don't, then we'll get some more Illinois teams. So essentially it's going to be kind of like the all-state anglers battling against each other in a summer tournament on a Saturday at Mill Creek. Hopefully permits are all put in. Hopefully they get accepted. Indiana will do the same thing. They'll fish right after us. We'll have the top 10 from Illinois facing the top 10 from Indiana on Sunday at Paris East Lake, which is just, I think, 15 miles north of Mill Creek. And then have like I think this is the name, but I'm going to say it anyways. I think we're going to name it like the ICAST Board or Bass Border Wars. And it'll be the Illinois versus Indiana type of thing. So that's one surprise that we're doing. And all the permits are in the works. I'm just trying to get in contact with some Indiana teams. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be such a cool thing. I think it's going to be able to start flexing our muscles against some other states. Plus more competition, right? Can't get enough of that competition. And then another thing that we're going to start doing, and it's going to be more incorporated in the fall, but we're going to try doing 3 squeezed in events this spring. We're going to try to do I don't want to call it JV because that's not really what it is, but it's kind of like the kids that are not super comfortable fishing big tournaments like how we're doing with ICAST, but or kids that are comfortable still fishing big tournaments and want to do this. We're doing single boat tournaments in any bodies of water in the state, max 40 boats. But here's the catch. If you guys want to fish, both of you will be on the same boat, or you're fishing technically against each other. Every kid gets 3 bass. Best 3 bass wins the event. So the reason why we want to do this, it's a little bit of a loophole to get more unique boats, so that when we fish the Clash, we can possibly send up to 30% of our teams fishing the Clash to nationals, opposed to just 15% of the body of water. So like, instead of sending 15 to nationals, we could possibly send 25 to 30 boats out of 70. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Which means last year, guess who would have been going to nationals? You guys.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's going to go off. It's going to go off like a skyrocket next year in season 4, but we're going to try to hopefully incorporate 3 events this spring, and we're gonna pick like small bodies of waters, 40 boat minimum or maximum, but it's gonna be technically 80 teams. You guys catch it? You guys get it? So it's a little bit of a loophole to get some more unique boats, to get some kids that maybe are not super competitive, but do want to like get into tournament fishing. And this is an easy way to get into tournament fishing, but still have that ICAST name, the ICAST tournament system, and all that. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Knock on wood. Hopefully it goes off awesome. Hopefully it works out. I'm really excited about the Indiana versus Illinois tournament. I think that's that one might be legit. I cannot wait to go on live and talk about that. So you guys are the first kids to hear about this.
That's awesome.
So lucky you for me delaying our podcast 2 days, because you wouldn't have heard about this 2 days ago. So was it worth it? I think so. All right, guys. I'm gonna say thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you. I wish all the best of luck for you going forward in this tournament series for the rest of this year. You guys are killing it in the wild card. You're killing the southern region. You're killing the central. I mean, it's almost like hands down you're going to make it to the Clash. You literally have 3 out of the 4 opportunities already making it. You just kind of keep doing what you're doing, and I think you're going to. So yeah. So again, thank you for showing up. Subscribe to Richard's Unleashed Fishing YouTube channel. Evan, start fishing the buzz bait that Richard made for you. And bam, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Any last words that you guys want to give us?
I don't know. I'm ready to go fish.
Same.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
Hey, thanks again. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Okay.
See you.